Have you ever considered that traveling in old age might do more harm than good? As we get older, the idea of exploring new places can still seem exciting, even nostalgic. However, many seniors don't realize that traveling after the age of 65 comes with risks and challenges that are often overlooked until it's too late. It's not about giving up on new experiences. It's about understanding what your body and mind can handle and what they quietly no longer tolerate. In this video, we will explore 5 crucial reasons why traveling in old age might no longer be in your best interest. From hidden health risks to unexpected emotional stressors, each point uncovers something often ignored but deeply important. If you're feeling uncertain about your next trip, these signs might help explain why. Stay tuned until the end, as we will not only explain the problems but also help you rethink how to seek joy, comfort, and fulfillment in this stage of life, without boarding a plane or packing a bag. Let's get started. Weakened immunity and exposure to unfamiliar germs. One of the most underestimated dangers of traveling in old age is how vulnerable your immune system becomes when exposed to new environments. While your body might feel steady in daily life, stepping into airports, hotels, or even tourist buses exposes you to viruses, bacteria, and fungi that it hasn't encountered in years, if ever. Unlike when you were younger, your immune system doesn't bounce back as quickly. Even a mild cold can develop into bronchitis or pneumonia, and a stomach bug might land you in the hospital. For instance, consider the story of George, 81, who took a cruise to celebrate his daughter's birthday. On the 3rd day, he developed a sore throat that quickly turned into a chest infection, and he had to be airlifted from the port hospital. What was meant to be a celebration turned into a cautionary tale. Environmental factors such as altitude, changes, sleep disruption, and unfamiliar food or water can also weaken your body's defenses. By the time symptoms show up, you're miles away from home, without your regular doctor or routine, and often too exhausted to advocate for yourself. Staying home doesn't mean staying isolated. It allows you to control your surroundings, your air, food, sleep, and routine, while protecting your health, especially when your energy is limited. Recognizing the risks your body faces now and respecting them is not fear, it's wisdom. Long travel increases the risk of blood clots and circulatory strain. What many seniors don't realize until it happens firsthand is how dangerous prolonged sitting can be, especially during long flights or drives. When you're younger, you might be able to sit cross-legged or sleep in a cramped seat and walk away with nothing more than a stiff back. But after 70, circulation doesn't work the same way. Blood moves more slowly, veins lose their elasticity, and the risk of deep vein thrombosis, DVT, dangerous clots that can travel to the lungs, becomes much higher when you're immobile for too long. For example, Harold, 78, took a 6-hour flight to visit his grandson. He walked around once or twice, drank plenty of water, and wore compression socks. But 2 days after arriving, he developed chest pain and shortness of breath. Doctors found that a clot had traveled to his lungs. The irony is that sitting for hours without moving can be more dangerous than walking around. Even road trips pose the same risks. Hours of sitting in a car with limited stops and little movement can result in slow blood flow, swelling, aching legs, and chest tightness. These circulatory issues aren't something you can simply stretch out of. They require intentional care. If you have a history of heart issues, high blood pressure, or past surgeries, the risks multiply. What might seem like a simple trip could end up as a medical emergency. Medication disruptions and medical support. One overlooked challenge of traveling in old age is how travel can disrupt your medication schedule, affecting your health stability. Traveling across time zones, changing sleep schedules, or even forgetting where you packed your medications can lead to serious health problems. A simple mistake, like taking heart medication late or skipping a blood thinner, can cause severe health issues that take days or even weeks to recover from. Imagine Gerald, 76, who traveled to visit family. On the 2nd day, his meals were delayed, his evening routine was changed, and he forgot to take his blood sugar medication on time. This oversight caused dizziness, fatigue, and confusion, symptoms that could easily be mistaken for something worse. When traveling, it's harder to know whether something is a minor issue or a medical emergency. At home, you know exactly who to call, but when you're far away, you're relying on urgent care centers and unfamiliar healthcare systems. Even with good travel insurance, it won't provide the comfort of being cared for by someone who understands your history and needs. Emergency care becomes less accessible and riskier. In younger years, a bit of risk during travel might have felt like part of the adventure. But after 70, even minor health issues can escalate into emergencies. When that happens far from home, the outcome often depends on the medical system in place, not your willpower. Emergency care while traveling can be complicated, especially if you need urgent attention and are in a place where the medical team doesn't know your medical history, allergies, or current prescriptions. Consider Ruth, 83, who fell and fractured her hip while on a European river cruise. The nearest hospital was over an hour away, the staff spoke limited English, and her insurance card wasn't understood. What could have been a routine injury at home turned into a stressful long ordeal. Even in places with good hospitals, waiting times can be long, paperwork overwhelming, and the standard of care different. Emotional exhaustion and loss of familiar grounding travel is often romanticized as a path to joy and freedom. But for those over 70, the emotional toll of travel is rarely discussed. New places can overstimulate the mind, disorient your sense of time, and deplete your emotional resilience faster than expected. Many older adults have an unspoken need for familiar routines, spaces, and faces that keep them grounded. Without these, the excitement of travel can turn into confusion, loneliness, or unease. Walter, 79, took a long-awaited trip to a national park he'd always dreamed of visiting. But by the third day he was irritable, couldn't sleep in the hotel bed, and missed his morning walks. It wasn't the scenery that drained him. It was the loss of comfort, routine, and control. We often underestimate how much familiarity contributes to our peace of mind. Travel can be a beautiful experience, but after 70 the rules change. What once felt like freedom can now carry hidden costs, not only for your body but also for your emotional and mental well-being. We've discussed 5 key reasons why travel in old age requires more caution than it often gets. These include the risks to your immune system, the dangers of blood clots, disruptions to your medication routine, limited access to emergency care, and the emotional exhaustion that comes with being far from home. Aging isn't about losing the ability to explore. It's about choosing how and when to protect what matters most. Sometimes that means staying home and saying yes to peace, comfort, and stability. You deserve to prioritize your health and happiness, and that means listening to your body and respecting its wisdom. Thank you for watching. We'd love to hear from you. Please share in the comments one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, and your support helps us continue creating content that informs and inspires. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.